this show has not only helped my entrepreneurial path, but I also feel like it's helped my leadership path, because of course being an entrepreneur, you're naturally in a leadership position, and then it's also helped me in my production element as well. There's so many things that I do for this show that go beyond acting and singing, which is more of my background. But I love it. I mean, after we wrap each episode, then I take the drive and then I go through all the raw footage, and then me and Caesar, my editor, we work together, and you know, we basically put together what you see, you know, every week. So it seems like weekly, you know, there's challenges, and how do you get through that? And so yeah, I mean, this channel has just really upped my whole game as an entrepreneur, a leader, a producer, and all of that. And so I'm really excited about it. And I'm just, again, I say it all the time, but I love all the positive feedback that I get. And thank you to everybody who watches the show, who's subscribed, and who, you know, leaves comments and just positive encouragement. Letty, welcome to my kitchen.
Thank you for having me, Leyna.
Of course, absolutely. Here, cheers.
Cheers.
To tonight, to cooking something good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is like special in its own right too.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you are no dairy.
Yeah.
Right. Now, when we spoke on the
Anti-dairy.
when we spoke on the phone, what's the reason for that?
Well, a lot of things start off documentaries that they scare you, and you're like, damn, maybe I shouldn't be eating this stuff. But Food Inc., I watched this documentary, and it kind of talked about dairy. And basically, if we just look at it logistically, like, we're drinking another animal's product that was meant for their babies. Now, in Food Inc., spoiler alert, they tell you about the difference between girls and guys, right? So when a guy drinks milk versus when a girl drinks milk, like, a girl doesn't have any other way to release this byproduct that milk puts in their body unless they're having a baby. So if you're drinking milk while you're pregnant, you're giving all of the nasty parts of it to your child, because that's your body's only way of like expelling it. So it's just like a whole cycle of, maybe I shouldn't be drinking this.
I know, I feel like I shouldn't be having
But what's
dairy.
crazy too is, like, when you get sick, right, or when when you get restricted of your diet, one of the first things they tell you, cut dairy out. And you gotta start thinking like, man, why are they telling me to cut it out now that I have this disease, or now that I'm going through this? But it's like, maybe it's because it's detrimental to you. So just my little spiel.
What do I do about cheese? Because I love cheese.
What's awesome is that there's so many like alternatives. There's so many alternatives, and I think even like with milk, there's so many different kinds of milk. There's almond milk. Even I
like coconut milk.
I like coconut milk too. I'm an almond milk girl, but like even soy milk, I know there's a reservation for males because of the estrogen in it. But there's so many other options for it. So I think there's always something for us. We live in a world where we have so much available to us. I do think, especially now, there's a way around these certain things we love.
Well, and speaking of that, tonight, that's what we're gonna figure out. We're doing.
That's exciting.
Yes, we're doing a sweet potato nacho cheese dip, but there is no cheese. There's no nuts. There's no cheese, so it's nut free. It's I want to say it's gluten free. It's vegan, and it's dairy free.
That's awesome.
Apparently, it tastes just like the real thing. So if it does, then no, it's true. There's alternatives, and that's exciting. I have a couple of standard questions that I always ask in my kitchen. One of which is, you know, now that I know that you're no dairy and I know why, where do you stand on organic?
You know, I think just the organic is now being used as a marketing piece, and it's like now people are choosing things because it's organic, and then like also the regulations for something to be organic. I think it was something to be grass-fed, like let's say that the standards that they have to meet is basically it's very bare minimum. I think a lot of self-planting is good. Like, go outside in your backyard, you can plant tomatoes, you can plant potatoes. Like, it's so easy, and then at least you know for that particular meal or that particular part of your meal, you know where it's coming from.
Yeah, cheers to that, because one of my dreams is to have my own potato farm.
There you go. I want my own vineyard. So hey, really? Yeah. Oh, cheers.
These are all the ingredients that we're gonna need for tonight's little recipe. We are substituting tapioca flour because we weren't able to get it at the store today for potato flour. So you did say earlier, if it doesn't turn out good, maybe that's why.
Yeah, like what if the secret to
the secret ingredient was a tapioca
tasting
flour?
like cheese is tapioca?
Right, okay, so we'll go with that, we'll go with that. Okay, so let's get started. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to add the sweet potatoes and water to a saucepan. But I guess first what we're gonna do is we're gonna peel them. Do you want that to be your job?
Sure, I'll peel. I think the best part about cooking is the feeling you get feeding other people.
Yeah.
It's like the service part of it, or like when they like it. And it's crazy, you don't know how fulfilling that is until you get like the, oh my God, this is good. Or,
okay, so Letty's putting in the last cup of potatoes, sweet potatoes, and we actually cut a little bit more than what we needed. So I'm gonna go ahead and store this into some water and use this for another day, and we're gonna let these cook for about 10 minutes.
okay.
Perfect. So while the potatoes are on the stove boiling, Letty and I are going to go ahead and pre-measure all of the remaining ingredients so that when they're done, we will put everything into the blender. I said it last time, but I'm gonna say it again. I wanna have a flour fight in this kitchen. Because my nails, I can't dig under.
Got it. So
Can you? I don't want yours to
Here.
break though.
Jesus.
Careful, yeah, careful.
Christ is my savior.
Yes, amen.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Oh,
That sounds
I
like
forgot to
Lucas.
put the top back on.
Have you had Lucas?
No.
Are you Mexican?
Yeah.
Okay. And you haven't had Lucas? That's like...
I'm half Puerto Rican, half
Okay,
Mexican.
okay.
But
So are you more Puerto Rican
Yes.
than Mexican? There you go.
I grew up on my Puerto Rican side.
That's understandable.
So there we go.
I'm half Salvadoran, half Mexican, but I grew up like... I
On
think
your Mexican
anyone in
side?
LA like grows up super Mexican.
Right?
Yeah.
I think of all my guests, you are so far the first guest that I've had that's very health conscious.
Like you have to be. There's this line from KRS-One and he says, you talk to your body by the food you put into it, and your body talks back by the status of your health. And so it's like, that makes sense. It's like one is directly correlate, like it directly affects the other.
Right.
So it's like, I'm telling my body what I feel, how I love it or how I don't love it by what I put into it, and it's telling me back how it feels about me by my health. And so
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, to me, that deserves a toast and
Yeah.
cheers, because honestly, it's so true. Okay, so I have to ask you. I've never had to ask this question because nobody's been super health conscious, so it was irrelevant. Are you a kombucha lover?
I just got into kombucha.
I love kombucha. So
Have you tried like the flavored kombuchas?
yeah,
Should I put this in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
'Cause I would.
I like Health Aid, the brand Health Aid, and I like Kavita. Okay, but true story, over the summer, my love for kombucha was so deep. I was probably averaging 2 a day,
Really?
sometimes 3. And I remember one day I felt so like crampy, and I was like, Mom, I don't feel good. And she looked it up, and turns out like there is such a thing as having too much kombucha.
Of course,
And
yeah.
people have even died. Not a lot, but people have died from
Yeah.
that. And ever since then I was like, okay, let's like bring
Is
back
it
a
like
little
what
bit.
it does to the lining of your stomach or something?
think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
it must be. Do you feed your dog human food?
No. I don't. He's never. I don't believe in that. I don't feed him people food. He gets just his pet food and his treats. Because I think that's why I feel like that's why dogs get sick, because they're eating all the processed stuff. You know.
What?
What?
So you won't give it to your dog because your dog will get sick, but you'll eat it?
Who said I eat it?
Because you have it.
You said that we all eat crappy sometimes.
That's
Listen,
cute. That's cute.
It's cute because he doesn't have a say. He doesn't have a
right,
voice.
right. Oh, it's not his decision.
It's not his
yeah.
decision. Maybe he would say, Mom, I don't want to eat
Yeah.
any processed food. Letty, this is Desi,
Hi, Desi.
my little baby.
How old is Desi?
He's 2. He'll be 3 in February. He was actually born on Leap Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's special.
So when do you celebrate it? Like you get to choose, right?
Yeah, so I say he gets 2 birthdays. Right?
You're a good mom.
He's been to like 7 states. He's a good traveler. All right, baby. Thank you so much.
You want a treat? There you go.
Let me wash my hands.
But how do you know how much?
I'll do this part of it. It's my job. Do you want me to just add it here?
Yeah.
Okay. This is really no exaggeration.
A lot, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go light on everybody because I think I see some people freaking out.
Yeah.
We can add this first, no problem, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
Something
Did
it
we do
doesn't, it doesn't say to drain it. So what if the water was also supposed to go
It
into
was. Oh yes, I think. just put some water.
Some water, cold water.
So I just put the potatoes, the ingredients, and some water into the blender, and now we're going to puree this into our cheese dip. Okay, perfect.
It looks like nacho cheese,
right?
How's the color?
Looks good. Looks just like nachos. We have 2 different types of chips here. You have rice chips, organic sea salt, brown rice, crunch, and then we have vegan gluten-free chips. So we're gonna taste test both of them and see how we like them. So I'll give you this one if you want to open this one.
Sure. Those are vegan chips?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't chips be vegan already? Right? Like,
That's a good question.
Like,
why wouldn't they be vegan already?
Corn tortilla chips or something, like, isn't that supposed to be vegan?
I'm trying to think, like it seems like any ideas? So the star of the night. It's time to taste it. Here we go. This is the no cheese nacho dip. Here we go. Since you are the guest of the evening, you're gonna have the first taste of this. And if it passes your approval, then I think it's good, because now I know how hardcore you are about it.
Right.
She went very light on that too.
My thing is more so like the chili that you put in it versus
the
like,
spice. That's right, I
gonna
forgot
be
about it.
cheesy.
Yeah.
It's spicy. It tastes, it tastes more like bean dip than it does.
Really?
Like,
Let me see.
it's a good spice. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it has cheese.
Maybe it was a
consistency,
tapioca flour.
But not bad. Maybe we just need cheese flavor.
You know what?
It's cheese consistency.
Yeah, cheese consistency. Either I'm doing something wrong, or no. This is the second recipe where I totally substituted something to taste like something. Oh, we did a cauliflower. Episode 7. We did a pizza that was like a cauliflower. It tasted like scrambled eggs. Okay, so pass or fail?
I would say pass because it tastes good, but also like it tastes like bean dip, and you don't need a sub bean dip. But it's just a good dip.
Well, here's the thing. What I love about it, as I heard you talk more about the whole dairy thing, it was a reminder, because I've also seen some of the documentaries like What the Health, right? That was a big one. And while I will admit that I am not a fanatic about eating healthy, it is important to me.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to say, when I do eat better, I notice the difference in my body. So I think our bodies are so incredible.
Yeah.
Very special. And this is really good. Okay, so again, thank you so much for helping me in the kitchen. It was a great success. Letty, thank you so much for bringing a guest to my home. Always like to cheers every chance I get. It's all about celebrating the little moments, right? Impromptu moments. And even though the cheese dip had more of a bean dip taste, it was still really good.
Yeah, it was a success for that. So
yeah, and thank you so much for the reminder of just why it's important to eat healthy.
Right.
You know, because it is really important. I think a lot of people kind of dismiss it.
Yeah.
But it's important for sure. Switching gears, you are a music journalist. How did you get into that?
I think it starts super young. My brother is 12 years older than I am, and I always looked up to him. I have a sister who's 2 years older, but I was just like, all right, you're not that cool. Our brother, though, he's the cool guy. And he would always listen to music. He'd always be listening to hip-hop, and he would be listening to Wu-Tang. And I just remember, I didn't know what that music was. I didn't even really know what they were legit saying, but I knew like it had bounce, and my brother was always like listening to it, and I wanted to be like him. So I got super invested into music and into hip hop radio. And since then, it was more than just background noise to me. It was like, did you hear what they said? Like, it was super into the lyrical aspect of it. And as I grew, I saw that more of what I was talking about was things that experts in hip-hop talk about, or people that do journalism in hip-hop talk about. And I kind of went into that realm of not even really studying it, because there's no way to study it to be this way. It's just, it had a knack for it. I already listened with that type of an ear, and people started listening to me because of the descriptive and I guess opinions that I had within the music. So I think with that, I just grew into like, oh, I'm gonna make this a career.
Who is your favorite hip-hop artist that you've had the chance to meet?
Oh, I've met a lot of my favorites. Clearly the only one that I didn't is Pac because he passed. But I've met Cole and Kendrick are my favorite, and they're really good friends of mine. And Kid Cudi's like the first person I stand for. Like when they say stand, like I don't even care. It's not even embarrassing to say how much I love this guy. And everyone has that artist that can do no wrong. To me, it's him. Mm-hmm. So I was able to not just meet him, interview him, and have a good interview, because I think the worst thing that you could ever want to hear is when you meet someone, they're not who you think they are. And it's because we put people on pedestals, and granted, people are still human, like, so they're not going to be this super amazing person all the time, but he's a person in particular that a lot of interviewers were like, no, don't interview him, he's going to burst your bubble. And I think that the best part was that I had a great experience with him, so I think it would be Kid Cudi.
Do you see yourself in music journalism for a long time to come, or?
Yeah, because I don't see it as something that I had to learn. And so once it's a part of you, like, it's just gonna be you for the rest of your life. Like, there's no way I could listen to music and not have hip-hop and not have an opinion about it, or like there be something going on and I not like be up on it. I think it just happens naturally. As far as just like the documentation part of it, I do feel like for myself personally, there's so many different ways to take it, and not for nothing, but there's not too many girls that do what I do. There's a lot of guys that listen to it the way that I listen to it, and I can go in a debate session with them. It's similar to like sportscasters, right? It can be a dude's table all day. It could be a guy's club all the time, but when that girl goes in there and she's able to not just know her stats, but can teach you a thing or two, that's like I guess like the it factor that helps her have her seat at the table. So I feel as if that's myself when I go into talking hip-hop, because I can talk rap with like the best of them, and it's not, oh, this kid doesn't know what she's talking, or this girl doesn't know what she's talking. It's like, oh wow, like we're right here, eye level. Right. And so I think that's cool, because it's a lane that not too many women have explored, but we definitely should be represented in.
Yeah. What I like about you, by the way, because I've met you obviously for the first time today, you have something that I feel like I can relate to, which is a very strong personality, very opinionated, you're very bright. And so I have to imagine, though, that just like myself, and it's never woe is me, right, but in terms of other women supporting you, being behind you, encouraging you, what has been your experience with that?
Well, I have a friend, my friend Madi put it really well, especially like I did radio for a while. I do radio too. So in that industry, I think in any industry, like I'm not even gonna subject it to one. It's just the one that I have experience in. You're either one or the other when you're a girl. You're either the pretty face that doesn't know shit, or you're the one that knows everything and is great, talented, but you're ugly. There's never the girl that has like the best of both worlds. So when that happens, other people, because also what I found is it's not just girls that have like a ugh towards me, it's a lot of dudes too. And it's because like I can call you, like I'm just like, oh, I'm your peer. It's like, all right, now you got to prove more than just you're the dude that talks rap, because here I'm a girl that talks rap. What? To your point, to what you're saying, my mom and I were talking about this, I think people think that attractive people have it so easy, right? And sometimes I feel sometimes we have it harder, right? Just because of the fact that men seem to always want something, right? An ulterior motive. Women tend to then not want to support you and hate on you, and so you've got it from both sides that are just like, but you know what? I get the sense that you're like me, in the sense that, you know what? It's like, forget still all that. Still pursue it. It doesn't matter. And the right people, guys, women, they'll come into your world, and but either way, it's just, you know, you're just confident in what you bring to the table. So I feel like at this point I know how to handle men, but I think I'm still navigating women, honestly. I mean, I'm getting better with it. I think my skin is getting thicker with it, but I think it's still a little bit more disappointing for me to not always feel that support from women. And again, it's not like, oh my gosh, my life is so hard and I have it so difficult. I'm very blessed and I'm very thankful for everything I have. But even on this show,
I have even felt people coming into on my set, they have a great time, and then once it's over and done with, you know, we've talked about it, just the feeling like the support isn't there, and I'm like, I don't get it.
So many friendships, girl friendships, are based in a false connection, because it's not because I like you, it's because I like what you have, or it's because I want to be where you're at. It's not I like this person's funny, or this person's this, or this person's that. And then to your other side of it, like, it's about what can you do for me? And it's just like you'll probably experience it with dudes too. You just had more girls here, but it's like everyone's like that. It's like, what is this going to be for me? Is it work that I have to put in? I don't get success out of your show, so no. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, that the fact that it doesn't stop you is why you're still gonna be successful without it. And then they're gonna be posting TBT videos of when they were on your show, and then it's like,
can we cheers to that? Can we cheers to that?
And then it's gonna be like, oh yeah, remember?
I was on her show back in the day. Yeah.
I was like an early supporter.
Weren't. Very true. Well, I'm glad to have that conversation with you. So switching it up to one of my favorite parts of the interview segment, which is, you know, this or that. I always like to play would you rather. I like to play would you rather. So everybody's gonna help me with some of the questions, and we'll see would you rather. I always like playing this game. Would you rather be on a survival game show or a dating show?
Survival. Because I used to watch Survivor and be like, damn, they get skinny. Like, damn, it was bomb after. Bugs and stuff, yeah, too, but still, like.
Yeah, I can't do that. You know, like, trying to find my food in the wild? No. Would you rather have the details of your financial life or your love life made public?
You know, like, when you say love life, like, is like your current relationship or like all of your past?
Your whole love life. It's an open book.
I think I would still go. No, I think I'd still go love life. And I think, because I'm in a great relationship, I'm in a marriage, and I just think that even as a person of, I don't even want to say like a public person, because I don't perceive myself as that, but as someone who has an audience, right? The more transparent you are, the better. Like, that is what wins people over. Not the pretty pictures, not the like, look at this cool stuff, this cool bag I got that you'll never get. It's the hard times. It's this is when I stress out. This is what this fool did to me. This is like me shopping at Dollar Tree because I couldn't, like, I had to pay everything today. Or all of that is the bonds that connect you with fans, listeners, viewers. That stuff is why people love who they do, and people grow fond and bond with who they do versus just someone that's beautiful, because again, there's a lot of people that are beautiful, but it's when you can tie into someone's either struggles or just their day-to-day life. And I think love is a big one, because we all have love lives, and so we may not all have money, but we all have a love life. So I think I'd be open about that one.
Yeah, you know what, it's funny though, because as much as I agree with you in terms of being open and honest and vulnerable, there's this weird dichotomy within myself about I'm down for that, but then I also kind of feel hesitant to share too much, because too much in my life, I feel like people have abused the privilege of me being so honest and open, and I always just worry about people, you know, trying to use that against me at some point, you know? So I tread lightly on definitely being honest and open and being myself, but then also protecting a certain part of myself, because the betrayal is just.
But see, that's also who you tell that to, right? Because there's people that are genuinely out for your best interest, and then there's people that are out for the scoop on you, right?
But you can't always know that. Yeah, you know what I mean. And cause even recently, I've had people betray me who I've known for years, and you can't always know who that person is gonna be. I mean, you can only do your best. But if I had to pick. Oh my God. And I think also the other part of that too is, well, how juicy is your love life? You know what I mean? Like, for somebody who only has maybe like one person in that chapter, or maybe like 3 people, and it's like nothing juicy. Like, for me personally, I don't know. Yeah. Would you rather make all your own clothes or grow all your own food?
I think I'd go food just for the simple fact that like I probably could never make anything that's like wearable. Like I'd just be wearing sacks, like I don't know, sewing, I don't know, like cuts. I don't know any of that.
I have to say that's my answer too.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Like how are you gonna make a shirt? Like what? How?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Letty, thank you. I mean, I don't think I could ever say it enough. Honestly,
Yeah,
you know, this
no,
is a new
of course.
platform for me. So, you know, anybody who's coming into my home, onto my set, I absolutely appreciate the time that, you know, you're taking out of your day to spend it with me and with us. And, you know, I thank you for that support. So, thank you so much.
Cheers.
It's a pleasure to know you.
Likewise. And I will say, like, I get the ambition. That's gonna take you so many other places beyond whatever like hurdles get in the way. And like I'm super into faith, so like I don't think anything is a coincidence, and I just feel like if I'm here for anything at all today, it's because God wants you to know like this is all in the right direction.
Oh, thank you.
Regardless of like whatever, probably whether it's like editing or whether it's like casting or whether it's like figuring out a recipe. Once you do it, you're only gonna get better at it, and it's only gonna become what you envision.
Well, I always love to leave my guests with a little special treat, and I know you like my café con leche from the collection. So I want to go ahead and
that's
yeah, absolutely. This is for you, and we also gave you ribbon in the sky, the pink shade for anybody that you want to give that to.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course. I just want to say thank you again for being on my show.
Can I show them off?
Please, absolutely. Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Of course. I hope you enjoy them
course.
and share them. And, you know, again, just thank you for being a guest. Because without my guests, I can't do my show, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah. But you also hold your own very well, just FYI.
Thank you very much. So,
Thank you.
thanks, Letty.
Of course.
Okay, I can't contain my excitement for this because ever since we started doing challenge segments, I'm loving all of the challenges, right? So, today's challenge is going to be, we are each going to have to eat 5 powdered sugar donuts.
Okay.
No water in between the donuts.
No Prosecco?
No Prosecco, no beverage. 5 donuts in 5 minutes. If you can do it earlier than that, of course that's awesome, but you have 5 minutes to be able to completely eat 5 donuts.
Let me just tell you, when you first said it, I was like, yeah, because I was thinking the mini donuts. So like, duh, like, that's a challenge, and then no.
Oh girl, no, you knew I had to come up with the real donuts, right, to make it really a challenge. Oh my gosh, I'm getting butterflies. They smell good though, right?
Yeah.
Can't
Tomorrow you're gonna be like, I don't ever want to see another white powdered donut in my life.
I hope I don't feel that way, because you know sometimes you can get like an aversion to a food if you had a bad,
Can we see our timer? Can we like, be motivation. 3, 2, 1.
Cheers. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be hard.
My jaw hurts already.
Oh my gosh. No. Is that 3 minutes? No. 3 seconds. What?
No, we have 3 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
3:30.
Oh, okay. Oh no!
I'm crying.
I say, can you hear us breathing like cows?
donuts have dairy, I feel. Why not? It hurts now. Like, it's like.
Who's for? That's for. Oh my god. Good challenge. Good job. All right, Lucky, you were the winner. Congratulations for winning the challenge.
And you're like super competitive, and you like, that was a fake
tough.
cheers right now. You hate me.
I love being in this chair because I get to talk about whatever I want to talk about. And but I think what's on my heart tonight, or on my mind tonight, is woe is never me, and I'm not a victim. But I do so much feel that when you're an attractive woman, or just, I guess, an attractive male, just an attractive person, and you know, you're intelligent, you have so many things going. Recently for me, it's become more prevalent, which is that, you know, I've always felt this whole thing of like, when it comes to men, you know, it's like there's always an ulterior motive. What do they want? It never feels like it's just off of the goodness of, okay, she's a hardworking woman and she's trying to get places. And then with women, it always feels this jealousy, this competition, you know, this fake forge of, oh girl, I'm gonna help you out, and they never do. And you know, I want to be vulnerable, and I want to be honest, because that's important. So, you know, this show is brand new, but I'll tell you, you know, internally that, you know, I've already had moments where I've not felt supported even by the guests on my show. You know, but honestly, you know, I'm not a stranger to that, I guess, in a way. And every episode and every moment and everything with the lipstick and everything that I do, I think ultimately what's happening is my skin is growing thicker. And it's not that you just learn to accept mediocrity or accept people who don't encourage you or support you, but I think in some weird way you just become stronger. I mean, intrinsically you just deal with it better. You know, you just know how to pivot. You just know how to roll with the punches. And what ends up happening is you almost become invincible to all of that. So I think that's where I'm at. You know what? It doesn't matter to me anymore, or not as much, for those that don't support me, who don't believe in what I'm doing. I don't care. You know, what I care about is that I don't lose my faith, and that I don't lose track of the vision, that I just stay full steam ahead. And what I do know is that that type of personality, you can't stop that kind of person. So, you know what? I'll continue to wish everybody well in what they're doing. And, you know, just keep focusing on what I'm doing, and just ultimately know that God has the final say, and that He's the ruler of my life, and whatever blessings He has for me, nobody can stop that. So with that, bye. Well, let's give this a try. See what we get into here. I always say that. See what we get into. I've noticed
That's your tag.
Yes. See what we get into.
Okay.
Whoa. Let's see. There's two things I always do. I noticed it in the playback, and I always go brrr. I don't know if y'all noticed, yeah.
That could be like your
one of the
zing,
right?
or bow.
And I was like, let's see what we get into.
Yeah. And I think there's one, cause I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I like, no, I'm not cutting. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I promise I'm not that dark negative. Like, you know when they're like, every vegan has to tell you they're a vegan, and it's like, all right.
Where's Desi? Is he in the room? In the room.
Desi? Have you ever cooked something for your dog?
On the show? Or just in life?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Now we're going to puree this into our cheese dip. I'm plugged in. I know it works. We got the light. We have the light on.
There's probably like some sensor that we didn't.
Oh wait,
Maybe
you know what it is? It's that. It's not on right. Like that?
Perfect.
There we go. There we go. See, all the lights went on. Okay. Thanks, Alex. Again. It's always the hair. My hair. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm good.
Did you get
Of course, I had to have the one that's like hard, right? Because they just there we go. Thank you so much, Letty, for coming in my kitchen and inspiring something healthy. Okay, guys. It's done.